molten cookie dough cheesecake. It has a layer of chocolate chip cookie, chocolate chip and vanilla cheesecake batter, and it's studded with molten cookie dough bites, all topped with a silky ganache and more edible cookie dough. And you're never gonna believe me when I tell you that it's all vegan. No eggs, no dairy, and I'm gonna show you how to make it. So we're first gonna start by making our cookie dough crust. I have a 9-inch springform pan lined with parchment paper here. And the cookie dough crust doesn't need to use any heat-treated flour. We're just gonna be using regular flour because it is going to technically be baked, but it's gonna be kind of par-baked, so it still has that cookie dough texture. So into a bowl, we're gonna whisk together a 1/4 cup of vegan butter, 1/4 cup of granulated sugar, 1/4 cup of light brown sugar, a teaspoon of vanilla extract, and then our dairy-free yogurt. Give that a whisk. Then we're gonna add in a pinch of sea salt, whisk again. And now we're gonna add in our flour. So we're gonna fold in our flour with a spatula instead of a whisk. And it's just under a cup of flour. So we're gonna use a cup and then take out a tablespoon. So it measures to be about 115 grams of flour. And then we just fold the flour into our cookie dough mixture here. And right about here, we're gonna stop so that we don't overmix. And we're gonna add in our chocolate chips. And then fold until the chocolate chips are evenly distributed throughout the cookie dough. Now we're gonna add to our springform pan, spread the cookie dough to reach the edges of the pan, and then we're going to bake. And while we're baking the cookie dough crust, we're gonna make our cookie dough balls and our cheesecake batter. And now we're gonna make the cookie dough balls, which is basically just the same steps as the cookie crust. We're gonna add in our vegan butter, granulated sugar, light brown sugar, vanilla extract, and our sea salt. So now we're gonna give that a whisk, then add in our dairy-free yogurt, another whisk, set that aside, and now we're gonna fold in our flour, then our chocolate chips. Now we add in our chocolate chip. So this is a bit of a wetter cookie dough, so we're going to chill it while we make our vanilla cheesecake batter. Okay, now the cookie dough is chilled, so it's ready to be scooped. We're just gonna scoop it and roll it into smaller cookie dough bites. And you can just place them on your parchment paper so that we can add them to the cookie dough batter when we are assembling the cheesecake. Okay, so we're gonna set the cookie dough bites to the side now, and now we're gonna make our cheesecake batter. So we have 32 ounces of vegan cream cheese. I'm using store-bought here, Oatly specifically. You can also use Kite Hill, or I do have a homemade vegan cream cheese on the blog that's really easy and simple to make, and it's just 3 ingredients. Then you can add in the cornstarch, 80 grams of cornstarch. And this is kind of like our vegan egg replacement here. It's gonna help everything bind together. Next is a cup of dairy-free yogurt, cup of sugar, 1 cup of vegan heavy cream or coconut cream, and then we have a tablespoon of vanilla extract. And now we're gonna blend. Oh, it's perfect. Okay. So now we're gonna remove the blade of the food processor, and then we're going to pour in our mini vegan chocolate chips. Okay, so now we are going to assemble our cookie dough cheesecake. So we have our baked crust right here. We're going to layer in 3 rounds of cheesecake batter, cookie dough, cheesecake batter, cookie dough, cheesecake batter, cookie dough. And so you just pour in about 1/3 of the cheesecake batter, smooth it to the edges of the pan. And then you're gonna add in about 1/3 of the cookie dough bites, just sprinkled sporadically throughout the batter, because you want to make sure that there's cookie dough in every bite. More cheesecake batter. And make sure that the cheesecake batter covers those cookie dough balls that were in the first round. More cookie dough. Okay, and now we are ready to bake. Before we place our cheesecake into the oven, we're going to pour in our water bath, which is a little bit of an easier water bath than traditional cheesecakes. You're just going to pour boiling water into a pan that's on the bottom rack of the oven. Close the oven, make sure that it keeps its temperature at 350 degrees Fahrenheit. And then we're going to place our cheesecake on the middle rack so that it's not actually sitting in the bath, but the water is going to evaporate and create a nice steam bath for the cheesecake, keeping it nice and moist so that it won't crack. So our cheesecake just finished, but we're actually going to leave it in the oven with the oven turned off and have the oven cracked. This is going to help the cheesecake cool down a lot more slowly and prevent it from cracking. Once it's cooled down, we're going to wrap it and chill it overnight in the fridge or for at least 4 hours. Okay, so the cheesecake has been chilled overnight in the fridge. Perfect, perfectly set. So now we're going to top it with our homemade vegan chocolate ganache, which is just 2 ingredients, coconut cream and chocolate chips. We're gonna heat the coconut milk and then pour it over the chocolate chips. Let that sit and then stir it until it gets all melty. And then we're going to top it with our cheesecake and more cookie dough. I'm literally speechless. It's so freaking cool. Okay, let's plate it. Wow. Okay, it's perfectly set. It's super creamy. There's like cookie dough sprinkled all throughout the batter. And then you have the cookie dough crust. We have the chocolate ganache and more cookie dough on top. Like, it's a cookie lover's dream. And we're gonna slice into it. It's so soft. Okay, you have to make this. You're not gonna believe it's vegan either. Okay, so full recipe can be found on my site, thebananadiaries.com. Be sure to hit the subscribe button and the bell notification to be notified when more recipe videos like this pop up on your feed. And I'll see you on the next one. Bye.